The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
There was a Yid who I knew very well. I can't say I knew him well. He was much older than me, but I knew him. His name was Rabbi. Berke was one of those unique Jews who came from Russia. He sat in the Stalin's Gulag. He was imprisoned in Russia for many years because of his counter-revolutionary work against the communists to spread Yiddishkeit. He was a Chabadske Chassid from the famous Chain family. The Rabbanim of Chernigov in the Ukraine, the David Tzvi Chain, the Peretz Chain. They have a shalshelas back to the Bali HaToisves, Rabbeinu Chain. His name was Reb Berke Chain, Reb Doiv Ber Chain. He came out of the communist purgatory in the 1960s, I think 63, and he settled in Israel. And he became a Melamed. He was a teacher. I knew him, echte Yirish Shamayim, from the genre that is very hard to find, where God is more real than anything else. Full of Avos Hashem, full of Avos HaTorah, full of Avos Yisrael. And this is a story that happened in his classroom. It's a story, I shared this actually, last year, Slichus, without the name, I shared the story. And after I tell you this story, I'm going to tell you what happened after I shared the story. There was a kid in the classroom who stole a watch from a chaver. He wanted a watch and he stole it. And the friend told Rebecca that somebody stole the watch. Rebecca tried to find out who and give back the gneva, but nobody wanted to admit. The kid didn't want to embarrass himself. So what happened was, he said, listen, we're going to have to lock the door, and every child is going to empty his pockets. So we'll figure out where the watch is and we'll return it to its owner. I have no other choice. But Rebecca said, every child needs to close his eyes. I don't want anybody seeing anything that's happening in anybody else's pocket. Everybody closes their eyes. Nobody sees. Empty out your pockets. And we'll get the watch and we'll give it back. And that's what happened. The child emptied his pocket. The watch fell. Rebecca retrieved it. Ultimately gave it back to its owner. And that boy was so touched that he was not embarrassed in public. Because Rebecca would not allow anybody else to see who the Ganav was. And he came over to the Berke Chain many years later. And he said that he himself was a Melamed, he was a teacher. He was inspired by the Berke to be a teacher. He said, how did I inspire you? And he told him the story. The Berke Chain said, wow, very interesting. He said, you don't remember the Maisa? You don't remember me? I was the Ganav. You must have remembered such a story. And the Berke said, I wouldn't remember. He says, why not? He says, my eyes were also closed. My eyes were also closed, so I never knew who took it. I didn't want to know. I just wanted it returned. I shared this story last year before Slichus. There was then candidates running to be the president, for the new leader, the presidency of Brazil. So a future president saw the clip. Somebody sent it to him. So he had to translate it into Portuguese, the clip, with my video Portuguese, and he sent it out to 25 million people on WhatsApp. I started to get from Brazil message after message after message after message. I couldn't read the Portuguese, but it was my video speaking. And he wrote, in the beginning he says, we have to learn from the Jews about the gift of education. We have to learn from the Jews how to educate our children. He understood that Yiddishkeit inculcated into the psyche of Klal Yisrael, that the greatest gift in the world is how we treat our children.
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org